Poppy Playtime Chapter 3 has just been released not too long ago, and it was pretty good. But how good was it? Let's pit off the chapter together and find out who will come out on top. But before we dive in, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you won't miss out on the next Poppy Playtime project. I'm the Ram Explorer, and this is my ranking of the chapters from Poppy Playtime. Taking the third spot, we have the second chapter. Even though it takes the last spot, chapter 2 is not a bad chapter by any means. It has good boss fights, good atmosphere, a pretty good puzzle, and Mommy Longlegs is a pretty good villain that actually talks to you.
I asked you to play fair, and you cheated! I hate cheaters! Now, we're going to play one last game! It's called Hide and Seek!
It also introduced two new mechanics, the grappling hook and the green hand. I don't know what it's called. I'm just gonna call it a green hand, which does add interesting dynamics to the game. But compared to the other chapter of the series, chapter 2, in my opinion, is definitely the most boring. There's just too many puzzles in between the horror section. It's not that the puzzle is bad, but rather the placement of which the puzzle is placed. When you spend time figuring out the puzzles, the story stops moving. And if the game does this frequently, which it does, the core story becomes less interesting. Another thing I want to talk about is even though chapter 2 add a lot of feature, it doesn't really improve significantly, at least on the scary parts established on the previous chapter. Well, in other words, the build-up towards the climax is not as satisfying as the other chapter in the series. And that's why, for me, chapter 2 takes the last spot. This might be a controversial placement for chapter 1, but hey, this is my list. And even though chapter 1 only has one boss fight / villain, but Huggy Wuggy is arguably one of the best, if not the best boss fights in the entire series. Not to mention one of the scariest one as well. From the way he was introduced, to his disappearance, to the eventual chase scene, it was all done marvelously. It keeps you on the edge of your seat and pondering where or when he'll gonna show up. And when he does show up, what follow is one of the best chase sequence in the entire series and possibly one of the best in gaming industry.
What? Alright, move! Move! Where am I going? Oh, I could go here. Go. I can't see. Here. Oh! Where'd I go? He in the vent. Oh my gosh!
So how it's not in the first place then? Well, it's because apart from that, it was a pretty lackluster game with minimal gameplay. The puzzle is just okay, and the story is definitely lacking. Although I do understand that the game is free and it is the first entry in the series and that's why it's lacking in content, but you can't deny the game's influence on the indie horror genre, and that's why I decided to put this game on the second spot. As you might have already guessed, taking the highest spot on the podium is chapter 3, and oh boy, what a game this is. Better boss fights, better atmosphere, better level design, better graphics, better voice acting, better puzzles, better new mechanics, and home to many iconic and scary moments in the whole series.
Oh my god, bro, she's insane! She's insane! Look! What the heck, bro? She stops in the when the oh my, she's terrifying! Guys, she's oh my god, she's absolutely so when there's power, when there's lights on, she can't get to me!
It's a sequel that's improved on many ways from its predecessors, while also managed to add a new exciting stuff to the series. It's basically a must-play if you're a fan of horror. Chapter 3's biggest strength lies on its environment and the way it builds intrigue in the mind of the player. What do I mean by that? Even though the game mainly takes place in this orphanage, you just can't help but wonder the purpose and what exactly happened in this place. All boss fights of this game was very well made, from Miss Delight to Dog Day and lastly Catnap. All of them gives one of the best experience in the whole game. There's also a few horror dedicated section that is genuinely terrifying, and I love it.
Listen to me. You need to get out of this place. You need to live. No!
What?
Leave me.
Huh?
Please.
Hey!
Just go!
Hey! Get off it! Get off it! Oh! What? Ah, Jimmy Christmas! What am I doing? What am I doing? Run! I can't move! It's not good!
They also improved the puzzle mechanics from the previous entry, making the game overall feel fresh. And the pacing of the game is really well done. Everything you do in the game has a reason and not just for the sake of padding runtime. Chapter 2. And well, if I have to nitpick, in some parts of the area the game gets too dark and without flashlight or anything, well, you kinda have to guess where you're going. Oh, and in my playthrough, Miss Delight just decided not to show up in the last part of her sequence, so it's kinda derails the overall experience a bit, but nothing major. And well folks, that's the list. Tell me what you think in the comments and see you on the next video. This is the Realm Explorer, signing off.